Virgin Galactic Holdings was a top trending ticker today on Yahoo Finance. After a successful launch into space, this trip will cost you about $250,000 to experience.
It's a complete experience for a lifetime.
However, today, the company is set to sell $500 million worth of stock. So where is Virgin Galactic heading in the near term? We take a look at this chart and it's been on an impressive run over the last 2 months. How much more is left in the tank in this one? But before we dive more into this stock, let's take a quick look across the board from a macro perspective. Now, we see our indices are almost all in the green minus the Russell 2000. Now, I want to point out the advanced decline line is 60-40 today, so it's slightly to the upside. However, it's not a full convincing rally. Now, when we take a look at the SPX, we were coming into this week expecting about a 60-point expected move. That was derived from the options market on Friday. And you can see 60 up would take us to 44.31, 60 down would take us to 43.11. Now, we're green today, which is a good sign to see, but we're only up about 30 basis points. Now I want to move on over to the TNX. The TNX today is up about 0.5% after falling off a cliff last week. It's trying to find a bounce here. Is it going to roll back over? The bonds are going to play a key role. When we see the yields up, the bond price are going to drop. If bonds drop, it's going to hurt a lot of these growth name stocks. Now, when we take a look at the NASDAQ has been on one hell of a ride. So is it going to slow down? It's very heavily weighted in the S&P 500, so it holds the key to this marketplace. But when we look across the board at our sectors, today the financials are leading the way up over 1%, largely due to rising yields. And when we take a look at technology, it's about flat on the day with our big five. That's our five conglomerates in Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Facebook, up today about 40 basis points. But when we take a look at the VVIX today measures the volatility of the volatility, and we can see it's been trending down since the open and near the lows on the day, which is a good sign. You want to see volatility falling if you're bullish in the stock market. But let's go back to space. We take a look at this chart today on an intraday, and it hasn't caught a break. It's been trending down in pre-market and got whacked right out the gates. Selling $500 million in stock is not what you'd like to see. However, it's going to happen. Now, when we take a look at this thing from a daily, is this potentially double topping here? I'm not quite sure. But when I throw some Fibonacci's on this thing, we're breaking a key Fibonacci. The 61.8 Fibonacci is one of the biggest Fibonacci lines, and that's at 44.26. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. We held it there. However, we're snapping below that. Next up is the 50%, and then the 38.2 Fibonacci, which is 32.81. This should play a strong floor if we continue sell-side activity. However, let's take a look at this thing on a year-to-date. Coming in on the year, it's up about 75%. With a market cap of $9.7 billion, it's a fairly big company. Now, what is the options market pricing in for this week's of trade? And for that, we'll go to the expected move. And coming in this week, we were expecting about a $7.66 expected move. That lower edge plays 41.54, which you can see at 40.50, we are below the 1 sigma on the week. That's one standard deviation. 68% of the time, the price will fall in between the mean, which we're below today. So how much lower can this one go? Well, if we throw some more sigmas in for this week's of trade, next up is that 1.5 sigma at 37.71. That level should find a nice bounce. However, if we still see selling in this week, a 2 sigma at around 33.88 will play a fairly strong level of support. Counting the Fibonacci's around 32.81, around $33. This is very strong in this stock. So if this is a stock that you've missed and you want to get in, waiting a little bit could be the smart move, because when you just take a look at this rip it's made, maybe we hit the 1.5 sigma this week, potentially a 2 sigma, but you got to keep in mind these Fibonacci levels are going to play some very pivotal moves. Got to break through this 50% at 38.50, and then 32.81 is going to play very, very strong support. But ultimately, if I'm a bull in this stock, I want to see the stock get back above $44.26. However, after being up over 120% since May 20th, pulling back 17%, it's up 75% on the year. This stock could come down and find a floor of support, which my guess would be around this area. You know, when you just take a look from the sigmas on the week, 2 sigma is 95% of the time it captures the mean. So breaking 2 sigma would be fairly bad news. However, around that $32, $33, $34 is going to be a very strong support and could be a great time to buy if you're looking to get long this stock. So there you have it today for the trending ticker of the day, and that was Virgin Galactic Holdings, ticker symbol SPCE. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. It means a lot when you guys can show some support. And if you're watching me for the first time, I like to do breakdowns on stocks from a macro perspective. I also love to talk about crypto, Bitcoin specifically. However, I've had a very hard time getting videos out. But if you have any comments or questions for me, leave it down below and I'll get back to you. But on that note, I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Take care. Peace!